People usually trade cars for a better model or sell the parts for extra cash. However, in some unusual cases, these cars are left to rust in isolation, completely abandoned by their owners. From a Koenigsegg dumped in a parking lot to a lost Bugatti, join us today as we explore 20 of the most incredible abandoned cars that actually exist. Number 20, Koenigsegg Trevita. The owner of this car deserves some credit for at least leaving it in a garage rather than exposing it to harsh weather outside. Despite this, the car was still abandoned. Only 3 Koenigsegg Trevitas exist worldwide, and one currently sits neglected in a parking lot. A car this rare and incredibly fast deserves to be treated with more respect. The company that rented out the parking space was shocked to discover the car there. By the time anyone noticed, parking fees had accrued to 1,000 Swiss francs, or roughly $11,000. The owner appears to have a tendency for short-lived relationships with expensive cars. After acquiring another luxury vehicle, they promptly abandoned this one. This pattern of behavior is puzzling, especially given the car's rarity and value. Number 19, Bugatti Type 57S. Only 17 Bugatti Type 57S cars were ever produced, and this one has been stored in a facility for nearly 40 years. From 1960 onwards, this Bugatti was garaged and never driven again. It saw very little use before being left to languish. On the bright side, the car was kept in a garage, providing minimal preservation. Such an old Bugatti is incredibly rare today, and its value has only increased over time, much like a fine wine aging gracefully. When the owner passed away in 2007, the family was shocked to discover this hidden treasure. The car's limited availability increased its demand, and it was expected to fetch a high price at auction. The family hoped it would sell for over $5 million, turning the abandoned car into a financial windfall. Number 18, 1964 GT40. A section of this car sticks out of the ground as if it were buried alive. The abandonment of this 1964 GT40 is truly baffling. In its prime, this car was an unstoppable racing machine, winning numerous titles. Now, it rests in obscurity in a barn, barely recognizable from its glory days. Would you believe this was a 1964 GT40? Most would assume it's just another old neglected car. The vehicle isn't in bad condition, it was simply treated poorly for decades. It might have been forgotten forever if not for some children helping their parents dispose of garbage. Ironically, this super racing car was found by kids during a cleanup. It's heartbreaking to see a car of this caliber abandoned like trash with no attempts at restoration. Instead of leaving it to decay in a barn, the owner could have sold it as a used vehicle and made some money. Sadly, this didn't happen, and the car was left in a terrible state. Number 17, Jaguar XJ220. There's something incredibly sad about seeing an abandoned car left on the streets, collecting dirt and dust with no hope of a wash in sight. It's even more disheartening when that car is one of the rarest on the planet, the Jaguar XJ220. This car was one of Jaguar's most unexpected successes, born from a dream of then-chief designer Jim Randall. However, this particular XJ220, found by Mick Bramley of Crank and Piston somewhere in the Qatari desert, didn't receive the care it deserved. The car is covered in dust and deteriorating every day. The reasons behind its abandonment remain a mystery. Owning such a rare vehicle would be a dream for any car enthusiast, yet this one languishes, neglected and forgotten. Number 16, the Ballon Collection. In May 2014, a Paris auction company discovered the Ballon Collection, consisting of 60 vintage automobiles in western France. These cars had been sitting untouched for nearly 50 years. French entrepreneur Roger Ballon began collecting vehicles in the 1950s with the dream of opening an automobile museum. Over the years, he amassed 120 rare and highly sought-after cars, some with incredible histories. Unfortunately, Roger suffered an economic setback in the 1970s, leading him to abandon the remaining 60 vehicles on a farm. Stored in a corrugated iron shelter and shed, the collection includes a 1961 Ferrari 250 GT California Spider estimated to be worth between $11.80 to $14.80 million, along with many other valuable cars. The collection was set for auction at the Retromobile Salon in Paris in February 2015 and was expected to fetch around €12 million, or just over $15 million. Number 15, the Rolls-Royce Phantom. It is tragic to see a limited edition Rolls-Royce abandoned and left to deteriorate. The Centurion Rolls-Royce Edition is a one-of-a-kind vehicle in the world. Its careless owner abandoned it, leaving it with no proper place to stay. Some people who found it speculated about making room for it in their driveways but hoped the original owner would return, which never happened. Rumors suggest that this deserted Rolls-Royce was initially owned by a Las Vegas celebrity and later sold to a Russian buyer. It somehow ended up in this unexpected location, neglected and in poor condition. A Rolls-Royce of such caliber should not suffer such shameful neglect. Number 14, Bugatti Veyron. Over the years, many abandoned supercars have been discovered, often under unbelievable circumstances. However, finding a Bugatti Veyron in such a vulnerable state is particularly shocking. This Bugatti was involved in an accident and its owner decided to abandon it rather than repair it. The car was covered with ash, suggesting a ritualistic burial. The damage to the trunk and rear bumper indicates a collision. Surprisingly, this is the second luxury vehicle on the list abandoned in Russia, following the Rolls-Royce. This Bugatti was hit by an Aston Martin, and a small scratch on the trunk lid ended its road life. Keeping it clean would have been better than letting it gather dust. Abandoning a Bugatti is akin to burning $2 million and watching it turn to ashes. No rational person would do this unless they had a fortune to last generations. Number 13, Lamborghini Diavolo. It's heartbreaking to see such an extraordinary car as the Lamborghini Diavolo left to decay among a herd of goats. Introduced in 1990 as the successor to the legendary Countach, the Diavolo marked a new era for Lamborghini after Chrysler acquired the company in 1987. The name Diavolo, meaning devil in Spanish, was chosen to signify its fierce performance and design. Marcello Gandini, the designer behind the Countach, also crafted the Diavolo's iconic look. Features like the slant front end, steeply raked windshield, and scissor doors made it one of the classiest cars ever made. Sadly, this particular Diavolo has been abandoned in the open, its condition deteriorating daily. No one knows exactly how or when it ended up there, but it's now left to be admired only by goats, a tragic end for such a masterpiece. Number 10, Lamborghini. Time for the fancy topic. In a surprising discovery, an abandoned luxury car was found deep in a forest, far from any road. The sleek Lamborghini, once a symbol of speed and wealth, sat rusting among the trees and undergrowth. Local hikers stumbled upon the vehicle during a routine trek, their excitement quickly turning to curiosity about its origins. The car's once shiny exterior was now covered in rust and grime, with shattered windows and a flat tire. Inside, the leather seats were torn, and the dashboard was coated with dust and cobwebs. It was clear the car had been there for years, but how it got there remained a mystery. Authorities were called to the scene and an investigation was launched. They discovered no signs of a crash or foul play. The car had no registration or identifying marks, adding to the intrigue. Speculations ranged from a stolen vehicle dumped by thieves to a secret getaway gone wrong. This unexpected find has left the local community buzzing with theories and questions. Who left this luxury car in the middle of nowhere? What is its story? Have you ever stumbled upon something unusual during a hike? What do you think happened to this Lamborghini? Let us know in the comments with the #FancyTopic. Number 10, Ferrari Daytona. The Ferrari 365 GTB4, more commonly known as the Daytona, was discovered in Japan after being hidden away for nearly 40 years. This particular model is especially unique as it is the only road-going alloy Daytona in existence. The story of this car is as remarkable as the vehicle itself. In 1969, a personal friend of Enzo Ferrari, the legendary founder of Ferrari, became the proud owner of Daytona chassis number 11653. This personal connection to Enzo Ferrari adds a significant layer of historical value to the car. The car was transported to Japan in 1971, marking the beginning of its journey in Asia. Over the years, it changed hands 3 times, with each owner appreciating the rarity and craftsmanship of the vehicle. Despite its multiple changes in ownership, the car remained largely unknown to the public, quietly waiting to be rediscovered. In 2017, this forgotten gem was brought to light once again when RM Sotheby's auctioned the Daytona, complete with its original layer of dust accumulated over decades. The car fetched an impressive $1,860,000 at auction, reflecting its immense value and the high regard in which it is held by collectors and enthusiasts alike. The new owner, recognizing the car's historical significance and rarity, generously lent it to the Ferrari Museum. This act of generosity allowed countless visitors to admire this rare find, appreciating both its beauty and its unique place in automotive history. Despite its barn-find condition, the Daytona remains highly coveted. Its allure lies not just in its rarity but also in the story it tells, a story of a bygone era of automotive excellence. The car's journey from Italy to Japan and its eventual return to the spotlight is a testament to the enduring appeal of Ferrari's craftsmanship. The substantial price it fetched at auction is a reflection of its status as a collector's dream, and the ongoing interest in the car underscores the timeless fascination with Ferrari's legacy. In addition to its unique status as the only road-going alloy Daytona, the car's engineering and design also contribute to its desirability. The Daytona was renowned for its performance, featuring a V12 engine capable of reaching speeds that made it one of the fastest cars of its time. The alloy body not only reduced weight but also enhanced its performance capabilities, making it a marvel of automotive engineering. The discovery and subsequent auction of this car brought a piece of automotive history back into the limelight, allowing a new generation of enthusiasts to appreciate its legacy. The winning bid was $483,000, which did not meet the reserve. Number 9. Ferrari 456 GT. Seeing a Ferrari 456 GT left to rot in Tokyo's extreme climate is a sad sight. This model was part of Luca di Montezemolo's vision to revive Ferrari by returning to its roots. Now, this customized car sits abandoned, enduring Tokyo's chilly winters, rainy seasons, and hot humid summers. The exterior is in poor condition, with the yellow paint on the logos nearly worn away and the clear coat peeling to reveal the underlying paint layers. Plants have started growing into the car, adding to its decay. Restoring this car would be possible but very expensive. Before even hoping that the 5.5L naturally aspirated V12 engine would start, the car would need a new coat of paint, new tires, and a brake overhaul. Even then, further investments would be needed to bring it back to its former glory. It's heartbreaking to see a Ferrari in such a state, left for nature to reclaim. Number 8. 1976 Lotus Esprit. It might seem impossible, but an abandoned car sold for $1 million. This happened with a 1976 Lotus Esprit, which made a memorable appearance in the James Bond movie The Spy Who Loved Me. The car was discovered in an unclaimed storage unit, hidden away from the world. A couple bought the unit in a blind auction, not knowing what was inside. When they opened it, they found the famous Lotus Esprit sports car, which transforms into a submarine and fires missiles in the film. Initially unaware of the car's significance, they had it cosmetically restored and listed it with Sotheby's. In 2013, the car was sold at auction to a secret buyer who later revealed himself as Elon Musk. Musk paid $997,000 for the vehicle. Though frustrated that the car couldn't actually transform, Musk still had plans for it. While he didn't create an underwater car, he did develop one of the most anticipated pickup trucks in recent history. It's just a bit disappointing that he didn't call it the Lotus truck.